Hello. Hey, you guys, it's your girl, Miss Mouthy. All right, so hey, you guys, it's your girl, Miss Mouthy, and I am excited to be back, you guys. It is another episode of Miss Mouthy Podcast, and if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. You have stumbled upon the Miss Mouthy Podcast, where we center the narratives and experience of trans and non-binary folks and the allies that love and support us. And if you're a returning set of lips, welcome. Thank you for coming back. I wanted to do something a little different tonight because y'all are so obsessed with this glow that y'all say I have. So I wanted to introduce y'all to the glow and all the things, but also try something new because this episode is entitled New Beginnings. And so one of the things I think about in your life is that being able to have the ability to restart at any point in your life will be so beneficial. And I think personally, I've just been on that journey, and it'd just be really great to share in this new way of doing things with Miss Mouthy and all our things. And before we introduce my special guest, we will also take a moment to say thank you to our sponsors at Black Trans Fund. Thank y'all for continuing to push the needle and allow people like myself to be able to do what we love and continue to be in celebration and joy and liberation. So thank you. And so, special guest, can you introduce yourself for the folks?
Hey everybody, my name is Grayson.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm amazing. All right. So, if you do not know Lips, this is Grayson, also known as my partner, aka my boyfriend, aka the glow. The reason why y'all keep talking about, oh, I'm feeling so and I'm doing all these things. So, tell me a little bit. Well, tell the Lips because I know a lot about you, but tell the Lips a little about who you are, your background, and what you do.
You started off with a question. All right, cool. So my name is Grayson. I'm a 10-year Army veteran, retired in 2016. I currently am the program director at BU organization. What else I do? I'm also a part of a social organization, Non-Collegiate Greek, Iota Theta Upsilon
Hey,
fraternity. And I also am the manager for my son's lemonade business called Lemon Squeezos. Make sure
hey.
y'all go follow him. Lemon Squeezos, LEMONSQUEEZOS, because he the best. For sure.
Period. And forget about the rest. Ain't nobody making lemonade like he making lemonade. So I think I want to try things a little bit different with keywords, right? And so let's think of 3 words that resonate with us at this current moment and stage in our lives. Since we're thinking about new beginnings, what 3 words would you say come to mind that really resonates with you in this moment?
I would say trust, peace, and love.
I love. And this is why we have the couples edition. I would say my 3 words would definitely be gratitude, newness, and honesty. So yeah, I think one of my first questions is because I love questions, babe. I just always want to ask a million questions. The first one, what would be your long-term goal or some of your dreams?
Are you pertaining to the relationship or just period?
A both and. Can we do a both and?
So I start a relationship. One of my main goals is to give you the life that you deserve. I know one of the goals for us is to be married happily.
Yes.
So I would love to make sure that I'm on point with all the things, all the decisions, so that we remain together forever. But mostly it's making sure that we stay friends. That's most important to me.
I think friendship is so important in a relationship, and that has been something that has set us apart. I think for the continuous way of how we develop our relationship is that normally in the past in my relationships, I've always started with like just the physical and lusting after people, and then it's like with you, we really took our time to develop a friendship and get to know, because I really wanted to know, did I like you as a person?
Absolutely.
When it's all said and done, am I going to appreciate you?
Same here. I didn't know who you was.
Speaking of when we first met, I'm glad you didn't know who I was either. But
why is that?
No, because it gets weird. I think when people have an ideal of you, they treat you in a certain caliber. So sometimes when I'm in spaces with community, they feel like they have to put me on a pedestal, or I can't just be a normal as individual, or also they can't just see me outside of my work. I want to talk about opportunity. I want to be with the girls and I just want to kick it and be ratchet and do body house shit. But so speaking of when we first met, I guess I would ask, what was your first impressions of me when we met?
You're definitely different than any person I've ever dated.
Mm.
I normally get my way.
Is that so?
I've been told that I have the gift of gab, so I know
I
I
can
can
imagine.
say what needs to be said. And but for us, it was more like you were going through some things that I didn't recognize, but it was a attraction that I couldn't get out of my mind. And
Mm.
no matter how many times you told me no or you act as if you weren't interested, there was just a certain energy that gravitated me towards you, and I know I just couldn't resist you.
I think the thing about you was I really love reserved guys and quiet guys, and it's like a mystery. Why you so quiet? And so I think if anybody who've watched Miss Mouthy before and heard me talk about that, y'all know I'm consistent in that. And he was just out of all the people in the room at that time, I just kept veering over to being like, "You so quiet. Who are you? I don't even know your name. Why are you not speaking?" Or sometimes it's that challenge of, "Oh, you think you better? Why are you not talking to the rest of us? Or why you? What's up?" But no, it was really interesting to see how our energies just started.
It meshed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you have ever thought we would be in this space now to where you here in Detroit and we talking on the podcast and all the things?
Manifestation is real.
Just
I couldn't say that I knew it would be you, but I knew that I wanted something better for my life,
hey,
and I just had to take the opportunity when it presented itself.
I love that for you. And I'm not me there. Who? Period. Let's go back down memory lane.
Okay.
I think we have to think about necessarily how we met and all the things that we've done in such a small amount of time. What is some or one of your favorite memory of us?
I would have to say when we met up with each other at BTEC,
Mhm.
it was the first time I was around a large organization catered around black trans folks. So it was a lot of love and opportunity and support. But most importantly, it gave us the opportunity to see each other, who we really were, and how we navigate around other people. And we had a lot of firsts too,
For sure.
and the fact that we could have did things that, but we chose not to, and that was a testament to that we really loved each other or really liked each other at that
Yeah.
time. That we didn't allow those things to distract us from getting to know each other on a personal level.
I'm definitely glad that you said that because I think a lot of times in relationships, especially when we talk about trans bodies, people overly sexualize us or over fetishize us in the ways that don't allow us the opportunity to say, "Hey, this is my body, this is my comfort zone, and I want to get to know you before I engage in that way." And sometimes I've noticed as a woman, people like to strip me of that, right? Or to think just because you may fit a certain mold that you always go about things. And a lot of times, I got to be comfortable with you. I got to get to know
Mm-hmm.
you. And as much as I was attracted of the person that you presented before me, I knew that if I wanted this to develop in the right, healthy way, I had to take my time to really engage with you, see where your head was at,
Mm-hmm.
see what the hell you had going on, and what your real motive was. Sometimes we just jump into things with not knowing why people are presenting themselves in a way to be in our lives. And so I was like, is he here for the cookie jar or is he here for the long haul? So I'm glad that we took our time in that way.
Me too.
I think my favorite memory, for whatever reason, goes back to the amusement park in Orlando. And
Oh,
so
okay.
I think me just having the fear around a roller coaster
Mm-hmm.
and my head being ripped off the final destination was like,
He was acting so hard.
I had this down. Have you ever met a P bitch? Period. But it was so interesting to say the least. It was just magical.
Can I take a moment? We matching. We on point.
It's
Take a
always a
moment
vibe.
to let
They
it
know the
out.
material.
Yeah.
Y'all seen the gram. You seen the gram. No, but even that, I think just aligning with somebody who has a lot of my similar characteristics, goals, ambition, that
Value.
it meant a lot when thinking about a partner because not only do you spend so much time with this person, but they represent you when y'all not around each other. So it's like, I don't want to just know anybody being connected to my body or my
Mhm.
brand or being connected to me because
People take advantage.
people got reputations that precedes them way before you even get to know them. So,
Mhm.
all right, babe, how do you handle stress and what helps you relax? Cause you be so busy.
How I handle stress, I would say breath is the first sign of life,
Mm,
and so a lot of times when I'm stressed out, it comes from your body. You can feel it in the palm of your hand, the palpitation of the heart. And so just taking a moment to just breathe and be present, it definitely helps calm my nerves and puts me in the right headspace.
I think when I'm stressed out, I really have to take a nap to just reset. I don't give a damn what's going on. Life is life, and I need to reset and get myself back in alignment. So that's been something that really like put help me in that way.
I would agree to that too. I think I sleep more now that we're together.
Mm.
Something about our aura that just relaxes me.
It's very peaceful. So, just digging into auras and all the things,
Mm.
what are the qualities that you admire in me?
We have enough time on the episode.
Hey, hello.
We can talk about this all day. Qualities. I would definitely say dedication to yourself.
Mhm.
You've definitely shown me that self love is the best love. And at times we often neglect ourselves, especially myself, having so many things to do, wearing so many hats. I think it's important to just be in love with yourself. So you definitely taught me that. Another thing, resiliency, right? Life happens, but your ability to just bounce back from adversity is admirable. And it's a testament to, who you are as a person. And it definitely makes me happy to be a part of your journey.
Thank you.
Because I know that you will be there for me in my times of adversity as well.
For sure. I hate when it, but no. So for people who don't know Lips, whenever I talk about Grayson, I be having to take a moment because I get emotional and it just get real. But no, the qualities that I really love about you is the authenticity of who you are from the day we met. You've been you through and through, even with the things that you're not so confident in, right? Like things that you need to work on, you have no problem with expressing that. And that for me is the real truth because people like to perceive themselves to be untouchable or unfazed or unscathed and got it all figured out. And in the reality, we are all working to be, hopefully, folks, we are all working to be better forms of ourselves because if we're not, you need to redirect that energy and put it back into self. But what I will say is that is one of the qualities, even watching how you show up for other people, even though that has been something that I had to learn to navigate as a people pleaser. It's just the dedication that you are selfless in putting other people before you. It could be a detriment to your own self, but it takes a real special, caring type of person to be able to do that. And so I admire that in a way. And then the way that you love me, you know what I mean? That quality is taken when we live in a society where most men are not having the emotional intelligence to say what they is or show commitment. We human, we may not always get it right, but the ability to say, hey, I fucked up and I want to make it right is something that I just really admire in anybody's growth, right? So those qualities just really make me love you and admire everything. I think we hitting on that. All right, let's get to the. You ready for the smoke? It's the question, not me, babe. I promise. It's not.
Okay.
It's like a jalapeno. It's not like a ghost pepper. Are there any unresolved issues in our relationship that you would want to address?
Unresolved? I don't believe so. We have great communication
Yeah.
skills and it's very effective. So I don't think anything will be left unresolved if it is something, because we're able to just be vulnerable and transparent with one another. That if something did come up, it's in the moment. We address it and we move on. But I definitely let you know if
Thank you. Be the first
it
to tell
comes
me.
up, of course.
I feel the same way. I don't have any unresolved issues. One, because it's unsettling for me. And I've noticed it's been unsettling for you. When you care so much about a person, it's hard for you to watch them just be in this uncomfortable space for a very long time. And I think we have learned what really helps is being able to learn our communication style and understand that because you have difficult conversation does not make it difficult to one another, right? It's not the end of the world or we don't hate each other. It's just like a conversation that needs to have, might bring up some feelings. So no, and I just don't believe in that. I just believe that it helps y'all come to, because I might not see it from your point of view, and once we talk and address it, then I can come to some realization, or we can simply agree to disagree and still move on.
Because it's about respect, right? And we respect each other's opinion. We value each other. So yeah, that's the last thing we want to do is disrespect each other.
No, for real. Yeah. How do you like or receive love and affection?
I like to be seen. I like to be heard. You do a very good job of that. You always checking in on my heart, and it's the simple things in life that you take for granted. So
You do a really good. I didn't know I really enjoyed physical touch the way I do,
the
but
hands,
when you
yeah.
touch me, it's different and it's very wanted and it's very
Reassuring?
comforting.
Is it
It's very reassuring,
okay?
yes. Not that it's ever a moment where I'm needed to be reassured, but I think it's just very comforting to know that somebody in that moment is willing to touch and embrace you and remind you that they are here and present. So that you do a great job of.
Thank you, babe.
Thank you to everybody who is watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Babe, what values would you say are most important to you?
I'm definitely gonna say honesty, independence, laughter.
Oh, we need that. It carries over.
And one more value: financial discipline.
That's just
Yeah,
ting
that's me.
ting.
Yeah.
Values. Oh, of course, honesty is big for me. Trust is big for me.
Mm,
I think humility has been something that helps a lot. Just when recognizing sometimes that people are human and they come with all different things and perspectives, and even reminding myself of that. Girl, you human. It's okay to have raw feelings or whatever. But then to the core of a person, just being positive.
mm,
I want you to just be a good person at best. If you don't mean me no good or you got bad energy or get away from me, for
mhm.
real. I just value good, genuine folks.
Right.
You got one or you want me to go in?
Oh, on the question,
Mm-hmm.
you been asking all the questions.
All
So
right.
yeah,
Well,
I got some questions too. But
so how do you feel about our communication style, babe?
I feel great about it. What I really enjoyed about our relationship was that we started with couples counseling.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think that was very important because a lot of times people tend to go to therapy when there's a problem presented, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to backtrack. So the fact that we started got ahead of the curve, exactly, it definitely pushes in the right direction. So even if we did have issues within our communication style, therapy definitely helped bring it to light, and we were able to be in a safe space where we can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
We've been
No,
doing that.
I agree. I love that our communication style is rooted in honesty, but also followed up with love, right?
Mm,
I'm not saying these things to just hurt you or blame you. And I think if we didn't trust and value each other' opinions and well being, it wouldn't be received well. So, like, when you really care about somebody who you want the best for you, what they're saying may not sit well, but
mm,
it's coming from a place of, I only want you to be better from this situation, or I only want you to take this and grow from it. And so I love it. And it's not stinging. It don't hit me hard, but it also don't just last afterwards. Once we talk about whatever, I'm not 15 minutes later back in that space or wanting to resurface the conversation. You ever been in a conversation with somebody and they bring it up just so they can get the last little bit of the loaf
mm,
off? No, that for me, I love. And we communicate very well.
absolutely.
All right, baby. How do we keep our romance alive in our relationship?
Oh, a lot of ways.
Yeah.
At first, we started long distance, right? And so that was one of the
Mm-hmm.
first times that I ever been in a long distance relationship.
Same.
So there's a lot of things that were different, but FaceTime is definitely top
Technology.
tier. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think date nights will be like
That's
magnificent.
important.
Eat together. We just do things, watch movies,
Mm-hmm.
just keep it fresh.
That intentionality in any relationship is going to be great. If you both want to keep it alive, you got to put in that time and that effort. You got to put in the effort and know that the same way you would want your partner to show up, whether physical or long distance,
Mm,
you got to make it special and you got to make it count. But I think one of the other things too is just our affirmations to each other. Never forgetting to let that person know how amazing you think they are. Even if
right.
y'all been together for a long time, even if you feel like they should know, tell them. It's a great reminder to hear that the person you love still loves you the same way.
Right. And you always take the lead on that, so I appreciate you for
Yeah,
always stepping up and making me think and being a better person when it comes to that.
of
Because
course.
you deserve it.
Thank you. I know, and I think it's hard to know how that person received because you want to be the great person for them. You want them to love you and not look at you as the bad person. But at the same time, if you really genuinely love somebody, you gotta call them on this shit, and you
Hmm.
gotta see because then when the thick of it happens. You only showing them one side, and so you really giving them this false promise or hope that this is what you're gonna get 24/7. That's not real.
Right.
So I just appreciate you trusting that whatever I had to say was of value and important to you because some people be in a relationship with their folks and their only goal is to listen to respond, and they don't really value what you're saying.
That's
They're
right.
not hearing you. It's just like, oh, we in the heat of an argument. And so we're not even declaring this as an argument. This is either advice or clarification. But
Mm,
because you have this stance on me, you can't get past the ideal of what you like. Oh, I can't take criticism, so let me cut you out.
right. But it's also active listening as well. I value the things you say, so I want to listen, and then I respond as I see
Yeah,
fit.
I love that. What is a funny, embarrassing story from our time together? Do we have any embarrassing?
Oh,
I know that didn't happen. No,
it
yeah.
probably did, but we just probably laughed it off.
Yeah.
Oh, that time we was at the suites. That wasn't embarrassing though. We couldn't put the lock on.
That
Only
was
people.
that was crazy. Stuff like that. Nothing too crazy.
We don't really have. Not yet. It's gonna come. Probably gonna fall down. Us. We gonna
Mm.
laugh about it.
What traditions or habits that you treasure in our relationship?
Traditions. I would say daily meditation.
Mm.
Of course, you know what I'm saying. We get in the
Mm-hmm.
gym in.
Mm-hmm.
But
You ain't wrong.
just togetherness, you know what I mean? We have our independence. You do your thing, I do my thing. But when we come together, it's like fireworks. We feed off each other's energy, and it's just always a good thing to wake up and know that somebody got your back and
No, for
you
sure.
got something to look forward to. Yeah.
Mine is definitely praying together and going to bed together because I can't understand now when people be like, don't go to bed mad at your significant other or
Mm,
something like that. But just the sheer fact that this person is committing to be here in this space with you. And I don't know, I just find something so sacred there. Now, what you got for me, baby?
oh,
What,
you got a
yeah,
question?
what's your
I
question?
don't
What you
know. That
got?
might be similar. Let me see.
Let's see. Let's get into it.
All right, so question number one, since we on the dating shows.
Oh, we was on Love Is Blind. We still would match.
You think so?
No,
I
so.
think so. All right, first question. What was the moment you realized you want to take a leap into this new relationship?
Ooh.
Like how you the right time?
I did not know for sure because sometimes when you have bad experience and you guys, you'll second guess, is it right? Sometimes it's two things. It could be the cycle of abuse or neglect that you've had from your previous relationship that makes you question, oh, this can't be real. This can't be, now I'm not deserving of this because this person treated me this way. But then also, when you don't really know, if you have not experienced for a majority of your life the love that you seek, you
Mm,
sometimes feel like it don't exist. And so for me, I didn't know if I could trust myself, but I knew what I was deserving of. And
mm,
so coming into that moment, I think I just had to really trust myself to know that like, I am on this spiritual journey and not to be afraid of the possibility of getting it wrong, right? Like, if you really want to be in love or you want to find someone, you can't be afraid of the risk factors. You might get hurt in the process, but
mm.
that's just not your person. It
Right.
doesn't stop. I think if you ever seek out to have love and it don't go right the first or the second time, if you just give up then, you're not meant to be in love. You can hang it up because
Mm,
nobody's going to be perfect. You're not going to always have all the answers, but you just have to know what's right for you. And I
mm,
think that's the ability that we all have is to know that I knew that as I got to know you, you were checking all my boxes off. And I also knew that I was deserving of someone like you. But the work was to only keep working on myself
mhm,
and allow you to meet me the other half of the way. And if you could do that, then I knew we were ready to move forward.
mm.
What
I
about
love
you?
that for us.
I do.
Show line, right? The moment I realized, again, it was just the friendship
Hmm.
where I can tell that it wasn't just lust. It wasn't
Yeah.
just physical attraction. It was more like I want what's best for you because I value you as a human being. I love who you are as a person. I love your character. And you were pouring more into me than I could ever pour into myself. And so I had to take that leap of faith. And I'm glad that I did.
I'm glad you did that. Because you deserve it. All seriousness, this is like your friend. You deserve that.
Mm,
For any of us that may be out there, always know that you are deserving of all of it. If you're giving your all to everyone around you, why would you not think that you're just as deserving, if not more, right? Because if you giving out 5 times the amount of love, ability, dependency, then you should be getting all that too.
right.
So that was a good question, babe. Thank you.
All right. In what ways have past relationships shaped your expectations or fears about this new beginning?
Oh, yes. So we talk about that a lot. And I think one of the things I appreciate if you giving me the space to be vulnerable about those things, because you don't want to overshadow your relationship with the baggage of your past, but you also don't want to be afraid to unpack some of that shit. And so you creating space for me to bring that up. But infidelity had been one of the biggest things, even though I didn't think it was, I masked it because I normalized that most men will do this and this will be something that will happen. And even if you don't want it to happen, you just, oh, that's okay. That's fine. It's not, but it's also something that you can get over. It's also something in a relationship that can not be the most devastating thing that happen if you communicate. Like that's one of the biggest things. But I think the expectations had been that I shouldn't expect so much from black men. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but all the roles, how I saw black men growing up in my family and how they treated people that they said they love, it was a poor excuse for me of if that's what love felt like. Like when my mom loved me, it never felt like what I saw before me. That's not love. Beating somebody ass that you claim you love is not love. Right. Cheating on them without giving them the option or the freedom to just be able to leave is not love. Right. And so my expectations was to be around, if cisgender women, right? That comparison, if cisgender women can't even get it right or men are treating them poorly, what is the odds that I have that a man is gonna accept me for who I am, be great enough within himself to show up fully? And so I had the expectation really low, and something within my framework had to start demanding more, not only of the other person, because it's easy to be, you hear it in all the songs, right? He got to have the money, he got to be this, he got to be that, but the expectation is need to be set with yourself first. Like, why am I not demanding more of myself for myself, right, and stop settling for far less when it comes to these people? So it was just unreal expectation.
Let me answer that.
Thank you. Sorry, got a little long there, but I never thought about that.
Good. That's right. Deep with it.
Period.
What's my next question? Ooh, how do you handle the pressure of societal expectations when embarking on a new relationship? Oh, you breathe hard on that.
No, for real.
Let's listen.
It's a lot, right? One of the biggest things I think I told you about when we first started dating was removing gender roles. And that alone alleviates this expectation that you have to come and show up in a way that may not be authentic to yourself. And for me as well. And to understand that, look at the society we live in. It's so fucked. So why would I let those things add the recipe for my perfect design? No, that didn't work for. We see what divorce rates look like. We see what all the things that's happening. And so it's like when it comes to my heart and it comes to my person, society, me and you don't make up society. So I can't expect everything about society to come into play when it comes to us, because one, we not even of that society. They not affirming, they not checking. And to add on a racial barrier, right? It's rare that people want to see Black love thrive. It's rare in a time now. People feel like, oh, if you got something good, you got somebody that right. I need. And so the fear is in this thing around sharing your partner with social media and being in the limelight and all of those things. But the reality is going to always reveal the person character at the core. Right. So I've done that before in a past relationship, social media. Right. But the blessing was I dodged the bullet. I got out of something that wasn't meant for me. So ultimately, societal pressures is what you allow it to be, but your relationship should look however you want it to be. Right. And it should definitely look healthy for you. And I think that's sometimes we get lost in the thick of it, of couple goals and all of those things. And that's beautiful. But if your foundation is cracked, if your shit is fucked, what? Because everybody loves the tea. They love when you and your partner beefing. I love when I can't relate. I don't know shit about that. Girl, your man ain't doing you right. I don't know nothing about that. Right. So that's it. What about you?
I feel like it was a lot of pressure, right? Coming out of stealthhood and pretty much just giving too many. Can I cuss?
Yeah, cuss, baby.
Giving too many fucks about what people thought. So I had to eliminate those things and figure out what I wanted for myself. And so again, dating trend for the first time. It was different, but it was something that was needed for me. I always knew that I had an attraction to trans women, but hiding behind a cisgender relationship just made me feel so comfortable, right? But at the same time, I was neglecting myself and my needs by not being true to who I really am. And so I just had to stop caring about what people
Yeah.
thought and really take the time to think about my own needs.
I'm glad that you was able to liberate yourself in that way. I never lived stuff, but I know that has been something in our conversations prior to. And how have it been stepping in that light out of stiffness and just living in a way that's authentic, and then add another layer of having a very outgoing trans partner? It's just like,
And
ah.
that's a plus. You make it easy to love you, but also you make it easy to love myself. Seeing how you navigate life just gives me that extra push that I need to just be who I need to be and finding myself. So,
Because you're so amazing and you're so
oh, thank
deserving.
you.
And I think society, right? Like some of those pressures from society make some trans folks internalize that they're not worthy, and then they go on a search of looking for validation and
Mm-hmm.
acceptance. And the easiest thing is to isolate, right?
Right.
To start hiding behind these tropes and stereotypes and ideas that people have placed upon. That ain't even the idea that you set for yourself.
Right.
So kudos to you. Yes. Has it been scary thus far knowing that there has been so much violence placed not only just for trans women of color, but like even on trans men as well, with us dating openly? And
Right.
what's your thoughts behind it?
Um, I feel like that's something that we can't really stop, but at
Hmm.
the same time, I feel like it's my job to protect Black trans women even more.
Yeah.
And especially as a Black trans man, why are you not doing that? It brings me joy to know that I can be strong enough and confident enough to help you in that way, or help anybody in that way, but especially you.
But
'Cause-
also too, we owe the obligation to each other, right? If you physically protect me, then emotionally and spiritually I can protect you with the materials and the things that you need to uplift you as a black man in this thing. And then especially black trans man who can get othered at any given point,
right.
or all the things that just come with existing in that way. So yeah, I think people need to take that in consideration when you think we have each other. Hey everybody, just
That's some questions. Look,
what we got over there. A long distance for how long?
she and I love. Look at that crazy.
We have known each other since the beginning of this year. So a little
Mm,
backstory about me. I had got out of a situationship. Sometimes you can't even call them relationships because you got to be real to be in a relation. And so to be real, we were just impasse and had history, but destroyed all my shit. Y'all seen it. Y'all know the
mm,
story. And I had to go on this journey of healing myself. And that's where I met Grayson, was at a spiritual and I don't know,
a spiritual retreat.
and healing
Yeah.
retreat. And so in that, I don't know if it was my calling or me wanting to go on this healing journey, but it caused me to find someone who was in the same alignment as me, right? So
Mm,
sometimes when we get outside of our norms, and even when we feel like we may not be ready, the higher power, the ancestors, your God is going to push you in a way that is unfamiliar to you. And I'm so glad that that happened the way that it did. So I can see
me
the
too.
value of a man, and I can appreciate that there's not a right way to go about love. You
Hmm.
just have to love yourself. If you are in the ability and the practice of loving yourself, everything around you will come in abundance. So we met in January, but we made it official in May.
Right.
So
It
not
was
long. I
not
think that's
long.
the fear that some people have. They think time always negates quality.
Right.
And when you just know, I've
Hmm.
never met another human being like you, and I've never been loved in the way that I feel like
Absolutely.
you
Next
do.
question. All right. Hold on. Let me see where I'm at.
Thank you for that question, Elizabeth.
What advice would you give to couples navigating the transition from dating to a committed relationship?
Say that again, baby.
I said, what advice would you give other couples that's navigating from dating to actually getting into a committed relationship?
You got to be real about what your expectations are, not only of that person but yourself. You also got to know that everybody come with some baggage, so
Hmm.
nobody is perfect,
Right.
nobody is thing, and the title don't mean shit.
Right.
The title don't mean shit. If you get caught up in the title and the ideal of it, you see people go from being married to dating to courtship and exclusive monogamy. You didn't forget about your person. You
Mm.
didn't forgot what they like. You didn't forgot to not take them for granted. You didn't forgot that they are growing and changing at the same rate as you. So Liz, I do want to acknowledge your question. I agree with you. Cheating is not love, but I also think cheating is a real reality when it comes to love, right? To love someone is to know that the possibility that they could possibly cheat on you, but it's how do you come back from that situation, right?
Mm.
And being completely honest with the transparency of anybody has the ability to cause harm. Just because you cheat don't make you a horrible person.
Right.
It can be rooted in so many things. It could be rooted in trauma, not having accountability for yourself and your actions, not feeling value in yourself and your body. So I think when we get into the moral compass of just judging someone based upon maybe one action or two, I always go back, baby, what I always say about choices.
What do you say?
Never forget your choices.
Yeah, you're right. Never forget your
Yeah,
choices.
yeah.
That's what she says.
You know what I mean? So if you are over here fixated about cheating, then you're not looking for a solution. If you are fixated on cheating, you then forgot your choices. In every relationship, you can leave at any moment. You can
Right.
stay at any moment.
Right.
And when people don't remember their choices, when you don't show up every day and choose this person, no, that's kind of crazy.
Right.
You like to villainize, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and sometimes people are dealing with mental health issues. They're dealing with control. They're dealing with manipulation. They don't even know
that those things are reality.
Right, because they're just so stuck into that reality for so long, and it takes a special person that really cares about that individual to say, you know what, this doesn't seem right, or you might want to take a step back and think about these things and give a person a different perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to be willing to admit you're wrong as well, right?
Absolutely.
Because people don't just cheat out the blue.
Oh, yeah.
They don't cheat out the blue. You know what I mean? There's either a familiar relationship, there is some temptation, there is something that is there that's moving them to the practice of that, even if it's just, I want to see if I can get away with the shit. Sometimes it be just that simple. Is my partner even paying attention to me to know that some shit is off about us? That is that. But to cast the first stone to ever think that one person is exempt to call time, I may have cheated, but this whole relationship you taking me for granted. Who's more at fault?
Right. Does cheating stop at the physical?
Yeah.
Right. You can be dishonest, going behind a person's back, then you borrowing money, you know what I'm saying, from other people, or you just doing things that are not trustworthy. So it may not be cheating in the physical sense, but you can cheat emotionally, you can cheat spiritually, you can cheat in a whole lot of different ways.
So, and everybody has the room to correct their errors.
Absolutely, yeah.
They also have the room to forgive. It don't have to be just so black and white. And I used to think that, oh, if a man cheat on me, I'm out the door.
Right.
Then I had to start realizing I'm a cheater too.
Yeah.
It took for me to be in the position to be a cheater to say, ooh, it's a little bit more twang here. You think you perfect, miss. Right. Nobody told you.
It's about getting to know yourself and being real with yourself. Just because you cheated don't mean that you got to continue
to be a cheater.
Yeah, exactly.
Because sometimes you got to have something worth value to even want to hold on to.
Exactly.
So, baby, when it comes to our community, a young, masculine identified person who may just be, I like to call this pearls of wisdom. So, it could be a young person who could be afraid to come out in their shadows, or somebody who is dealing with a narcissist and possibly have not recognized it. What would either be some signs or some advice you could give to this person to better choose their self or come to the reality that maybe this is not the best situation too, and they need to get to new beginnings?
I would say it comes from within, right? You can't pour into others until you pour into yourself, right? So spending some time alone in solitude to figure out who you are and who you want to become, and also not being afraid to do that, right? So it comes with support. That's a group, whether that's a friend. Also, just loving yourself enough to, again, not give a damn about what others think. You have one life to live, and so live it to your fullest ability. Not be afraid.
Jay Bird, I'll answer your question. So that was really good too, babe.
Thank you.
How would I handle cheating? I handle cheating with, depending on what stage in my life, right? When I was not emotionally intelligent or mature, I handled it with violence. I've handled it with discrediting or blaming someone for what I felt like they were their action, but the act of cheating go far beyond. What part of the relationship did I contribute? Was I putting toxicity in that to where it was an easier option to go out and find something better? But now I handle cheating with pure honesty, right? It's okay to tell your partner if you're not ready to leave that relationship. It is okay to figure out, hey, how can we do this? What's needed? And I'm lips, y'all know. I'm a different breed. So it's looking like, what do we need? We need a pass. We need a threesome. We need to open it up. We need a break. What happens? But I'm really here to be solution oriented and open it up to figure out what the needs are for my partner. And if I'm better suited to even do that, it may not even have shit to do with me. But sometimes, let's be 100, that sometimes people are looking for an out. You know what I mean? And they don't know how to
Mm-hmm.
just say, this is up. Your
Right.
number and your ticket is up. And so the easiest thing to do is cheat, or at least they think. And then when that person is still relentless to move on or choose something different for themselves,
Mm.
then no. But cheating for me is not my end all be all. It's never
Right.
been something, because I'm the type of girl, I'm gonna cheat back. And I'm not saying that's the advice for anybody else, but cheating only comes to being hurtful to me if it comes with betrayal. But if I knew my partner needed something else that I couldn't desire, because I don't have every anatomy and every part, and I'm certain things I'm not willing to do sexually. And if my partner is coming to me honestly, we can navigate through that. And that's not cheating. That's compromise, right?
Mm.
And so it's just being mindful of what that is. And people so limit their relationship to just the bedroom and just to bodies. But when you have so much other things to offer your partner and grow from and learn from and prioritize, sex and all the things is going to be the last of our things. Right
Right.
now, we're doing a fast, and it's taking us outside of that, relying on sex to just be the thing
Right.
that carry us through the threshold. So,
Mm-hmm.
baby, how would you handle cheating?
The same way, open communication. Cheating often is a reflection of the person
Hmm.
that's cheating, not necessarily the person that's being cheated on. So if you really want to continue to pursue that relationship, you open up, you ask the questions. If that's something that you want to move forward with, then it's too easy to do that. And if not, then that action was meant, and it was meant for you. You just split and go about your way.
And that's the thing. This was entitled New Beginnings for a reason. That at any given point in your life, you can always have a new beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and you should always end things that does not bring out the best self reflection. And Liz, I see all your questions, and if you want to follow us on our YouTube page,
Oh
we'll be
yeah.
able to answer more of those questions about where we met, all the things, and we'll give y'all a full candid
Oh yeah.
rundown of
Transparency.
who we are, what we all about, and how did we get to this point to where we can sit before y'all and talk about our love and our new beginnings.
Absolutely.
So it's your girl, Miss Mouthy, and I love that y'all tuned in and y'all were engaging. If you have more comments, please leave them, and we'll go back and make sure we add them in the YouTube. And babe, any last thoughts you want to add?
No, I just thank you for allowing me to be in your
Of
space.
course.
I'm not really a big talker, but I love talking to you.
Same.
It's something that's getting me out of my element, but I'm happy to be here.
Hmm.
I'm happy to share these new beginnings with you, and I
Yes.
can't wait to,
See where
you
we
know,
go from here, because
yeah,
it's
see where
up.
we go. Yeah,
It's up
exactly.
and it's stuck. So it's your girl, Miss Mouthy. Even when you what don't see me, you hear me, Mr. Mouthy. And even when you what don't hear him,
You see me?
period.
Let's get
All right.
it.
Bye, y'all. Take care of yourself. Bye.